Hey, welcome back to Driven Channel, and I'm here with Miklo. Miklo. So like I never heard that name. I never heard that name when I first met you. Like you look like a tough individual that you don't want to mess with. That's the first thing I saw. And then we talked. I got to know you, but I know that you help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like you coach people on mindset. I know you've been through a lot in your life, and because of those experiences and everything that you've learned, like you're able to help a lot of people. So who is Miklo? Like I want to start with that. Who is Miklo? What got you into what you do now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, but how'd you grow up? Like did you ever make any mistakes, get in trouble? Like,
yeah, bro. I made a lot of mistakes.
Who's Miklo? where does Miklo? Is that your real name, Miklo?
Yeah. So I've been called Miklo since I was 9. So since I was 9 years old, they've been calling me Miklo. It's just the way growing up, you know what I mean? And like I said, I grew up in a humble home. I had my mom, my dad, brother, sister. I was the middle child. You asked if I made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, bro. And I hurt a lot of people along the way too. I got busted for a little bit, you know what I mean? Just did county lids, county time, fought cases and beat them all. But at a young age, I got set straight and just kind of started redefining what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go, right? It was mentorship from the epitome of what you would consider a gangster. You know what I mean? And I don't mean, cholos just gangbanging and stuff like that, but I mean literally the persona, the mindset, the way they move, the way they think and stuff like that. There were strong men that mentored me along the way. And one of them told me along the way when I was busted on the inside, he goes, "Hey, Miklo, you know what? You're too good to be in here." He goes, "What's going to make you most G is how much time you could do on the outside, not on the inside." And since then, I just wised up and I started course correcting my behaviors and what I was bringing to the table. And at that point, it led me to constructing my own family. I went union. So I was building tower cranes for a living. I did that and I ran work for about 17 years doing that. And at the peak of my career, I ended up turning in my gas card, company cards, credit cards, truck keys, everything. I gave it all back. And then I just dedicated my life to what I do now, which is coaching individuals and how to level up and break free.
But let's go back. So when you get into trouble the first time,
Mm-hmm.
like when was the first time you got into like not just like detention in school or something small like that, but when was the first time you got into like real trouble where you got into where you had to go to jail or I don't know, the first time you got into real trouble, when was that? How old were you?
I was I had just turned 18. I caught a case. I was looking at a temp. I fought it all the way. So I fought.
You were looking at what?
Attempted murder. I had home invasions. I had a bunch of shit on my records and charges. And obviously they max them all out, right? They try to get you with the worst. But that's what I was facing at that age. So that was the first case that I started.
And what's going through your mind at that moment? Like why did you get into? Did you feel like it wasn't your fault? Because sometimes when people get into big trouble,
Mm-hmm.
you're always like, it's not my fault. Like you get pulled over, you get a DUI, and you're like, this fucking cop was stupid. Like I was good to drive, and we always try to make excuses why it was not our fault. Like when you were 18, do you believe that they were trying to take advantage, or do you feel like, you know what, I did fuck up?
Nah, you know what? At an early age, I understood what it was. I took accountability and I knew everything I did in my life and everything up to date has always been intentional. So I don't move without intention. I just had to course correct what the intention behind what I was doing was. That's
So
all.
what ended up happening right there when you're 18? Did you end up going in for a few days or no?
Yeah, I got busted and I started fighting that case. We started going back and forth.
You were fighting while you were in?
Oh yeah.
How long were you in for?
I was in for a couple months, then I got bailed out and then finished the case from the outside. So,
and then
I ended up beating that. I ended up beating that, and just like I said, learning from that experience. And past that, that was the main case that had, like I said, besides little stupid incidents here and there, bar fights or dumb shit like that, that was the main charges or big case that I fought. And after that, like I said, I just.
So that case, you fought it and you won it.
I
So
got
you were-
very
so you
lucky.
were-
I got blessed in that.
So it wasn't you didn't really do anything bad then.
I never did anything bad.
Well, you won it, so they were wrong. You were right.
Yeah, always.
Now after 18, what happens? Like you get out, you
Yeah.
win the case. What's next?
What's well, like from there, I just put my head down into grinding, bro. Like I just went to working. So I was always hustling. I started working since I was about 14 years old. You know what I mean? And that wasn't because my father wasn't like a good provider, because he was. He was an extraordinary provider. But that's actually what I embodied or what I looked up to.
Yeah.
So at a young age, when I was 14, I just started working, and there were little gigs like doing parking at the concerts and stuff like that, right? Just wherever I could make a lick. And so I always had some sort of cash on me. And then from that, it came into, bigger things, bigger sales, doing drugs, selling drugs, moving. And that's part of where I was going and why I was involved in the shit I was
And
involved
this
in.
is where, what cities? What city were you in?
This was up in the IE. I grew up in Colton.
You've been there your whole life?
Yeah, when I was born in Bellflower. Moved back, Cudahy, Commerce. And then I grew up, from there we moved over to Colton. And my jefitos still have the house right now. So that's where they stay at, and that's where I grew up.
So you're 18, you're 19, 20. When do you start selling drugs?
Oh, I was doing that at a young age, probably about 15, 16.
Oh.
And it lasted till early 20s.
And you were making good money?
Yeah.
Like how much money can you make selling drugs?
$5 here and there.
But it's like big real money selling drugs?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like when you're 15 years old, you don't know the concept of, what is big money at that point. If I just had cash in my pocket and I was able to do what I wanted, I thought I was doing well. And obviously the people that I was associated with were making a lot more than I was, right? But as long as I was getting a piece of the pie, I was content and I was happy until I really started learning and mentoring. And that's why I said that's the college that I went to. You know what I mean? Those are the colleges that I attended.
When you were selling drugs, were you also consuming them?
No. I had tried them, but I wasn't,
You were needing your supply?
No.
And what, like, by drugs, like, are we talking about like weed or is it coke or?
Yeah, it was a lot of cocaine, methamphetamines, weeds.
What's the
opiums.
what's the best moneymaker? The coke?
Fuck, we're talking a long time ago, brother. And it was methamphetamine was a big seller for us, and so was cocaine. Yeah.
But cocaine's more expensive, isn't it?
I mean, yes, it is.
Uh-huh. Are the I'm just curious, but are the margins like high? Like, are they good margins? Like, you get it for very little and you sell it for a lot more?
I don't remember. I was a child. Yeah.
So in your early 20s, that stopped. So you stopped.
I stopped everything.
And when you were in your early 20s, did you have tattoos already or no?
Yeah, I was started getting blasted when I was about 17.
17?
Yeah, and then I started just, but none of my ink that I have on, none of it is like a fucking character or anything. Like, all my stripes have been earned. You know what I mean? And that's the truth.
What does that mean that they've been earned?
That means that in one way or another, it tells a story of where I've been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have just a character tattooed on me, a Pokemon or some dumb shit. Like,
yeah. You think people that tattoo like little creatures or designs that have no meaning? You think tattoos need to have a meaning?
I think that it's changed a lot. It's really just the norm and stuff like that. And, it's an image that I think people like try to put on or wear, but then at the same token, they're just masking themselves.
What about for girls? And for girls, are tattoos different than for men?
I mean, to me personally, I like some tattoos on females, but not like full body suits and stuff. You know what I mean? I like my female to look classy and look right.
You don't like her when she has like a stripe or like a, what do they call it?
The whole black arm
sleeve.
Sleeve. I don't know.
No?
Like my hyena has a little bit of tattoos, but she's not all blasted.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to get so to get a tattoo.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with you. I think a little is good, not too much. For a girl.
I want my lady to look classy. You know what I mean?
So you have a lot of tattoos. Your whole body's tattooed.
Yeah, most of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And every tattoo has like a story.
meaning, yeah.
Are you gonna keep getting more?
I could tell you I'm not done, right? I have space left, but I'm not in a hurry. Like I'm to the point where I fucking hate getting blasted, bro.
Yeah.
It's annoying. It pisses me off. I'm sitting there, hurry up. Like,
So the tattoo you have right here, do you mind
that's
talking
my
about
daughter's
that?
name.
That's your daughter's
Yeah,
name?
that's my
Jimena?
daughter's name. Jimena.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When did you put that one?
When she was born.
How long ago was that?
Fuck, I don't remember. 6 years old.
6. I bet that hurt, like right on your...
On the jawline?
Yeah.
That one was cool, eh? The worst, some of the worst places I've been blasted was like the rib shot, stomach. The stomach fucked me up.
Yeah?
The top of my head, where the mollera is.
Yeah, so like how was the head?
Yeah, that one hurt, bro. It was uncomfortable. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just keeping it real, bro. That shit sucked.
What, do you tattoo more your face? Or
No.
No?
I regret doing my head in the first place.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I've always been really clean. So, like, the moment you start one side and you're like, well, fuck, now you're committed, right? But when I started on my head,
You wouldn't take it off?
I mean, I don't know, because it's already there, you know? So, I don't really try to go back on the shit I do. Just puro pa adelante.
You never got in a tattoo like of like an X and then you take it off?
No.
No?
No. But I did replace my lady's name. I had my lady's name and then I covered over it and then I redid her name somewhere else. But she was all we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So then moving forward, like, when do you start like, do you get in trouble again or no? After that?
I got very smart about everything I did, Albert. Like growing up.
So after that the first time you went in
I learned a
into
lot.
jail, you never went back?
No.
No?
No, I didn't.
Did you still do bad things?
Yes, I did.
But you got away with them.
Yes.
Is there like one or a few things that you did that you regret, like, man, I shouldn't have done that? That you got away with?
No.
No? Everything
I think
was
they had
supposed
it
to happen.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into the whole mindset stuff, why like your persona is like this big guy that's has a lot of muscle. You lift heavy, I'm sure. You seem like this scary guy that you don't want to mess with or you're gonna get killed. like is that who you are? Is that kind of like your brand, or where did you adopt like where did you go for that look? Like I'm gonna have tattoos. I'm gonna be a big guy, and I'm gonna be like this guy that I'm gonna fucking mad dog people, and if they don't like it, I'm gonna fucking like you. It seems like you want people to be scared of you or intimidated. Is that true, or is that your look? Is that your style? Is that how you became? Did you become like that for a reason, or why not just be like the skinny wimpy kid?
Yeah. I what's it called? That's perception. To be honest with you, like
You don't feel like you look scary?
I mean, I hope I don't. I hope I'm approachable.
Do
like,
you feel like you're not approachable
No, I
sometimes?
get what you're saying, bro. Like, yeah, no, I know I'm a big dude. I'm 260, 265. You know what I mean? I maintain that weight pretty solid.
But you're also like huge. You're huge, like muscular wise, and then you have a bunch of tattoos.
Right.
So like when somebody sees you, they might be like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna ask him for her."
You know what's a trip though is that like because of the way that I look, like I'm always actually like targeted, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is like, hey, let's test this fool. You know what I mean? And it's funny because a lot of times you think, oh, hey, don't mess with that dude. It's not really like that. It's like, oh, that fool looks like that. Let's go run it. Like, let's see if he's about it.
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
You know what I mean? And so like I've had more of those than not.
how do you deal with that when somebody is like, oh, let me test this guy, like let me go there and test him, see if he's real.
Fuck around and find out, brother. Like straight the fuck up. Yeah.
Have you ever scared people like
Intentionally? Yes.
yeah?
Yeah. Look, like I try to be real chill though, you know what I mean? Like I'm a real cool person. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like being big. I stay big, you know. When I cut, and I'm talking about like trim, when I start boxing or I'm cutting, I'm going through a cut phase, I'll go down to about 250, 255. But normally like year round, I'm walking around 260, 265. So that's right around the ballpark that I'm at. Right now I am boxing, so I'm down to about 255, 260. So I'm not all the way down to my cut, but I'm not bulked either. So I'm just right in
You
between.
like boxing a lot?
I like boxing.
Who's your favorite boxer?
Fuck, dude. I don't have an answer for you. I don't have an answer. I like Chavez a lot. So
The dad, right?
Of
Yeah. Not the son.
OG, nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The son. The son sucks.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the dad is he's like the best. He's probably the best fighter,
Yeah,
Mexican fighter ever.
I love that fool.
Yeah.
So what's it called? Yeah, like getting back to the conversation about, do I try to look like that or do I try to push people away? I really don't, bro. Like, I mean, I just, like I said, I've earned my stripes along the way. You know what I mean? I know what I am. I know what I bring to the table. I try to stay humble. I try not to do dumb shit. You know what I mean? But I'm also, no me rajo. You know what I mean? And I'm never going to run from something. You know, if I could talk down a situation, hey, bro, like, relax, chill. Here's a beer, shut up, right? Like, just try to smooth it out. You know, but I'm very observant. Like, I don't start shit. I'm not a cagapalo. You know, I sit in my lane. I mind my business. And that's it.
So, like, let's say if you go to the restroom,
Yeah.
and your girl stays at the bar, she's waiting for you, and then like a guy goes up to her and starts talking to her and flirting, and you get back, and even though your lady is probably like kind of trying to back off a little bit, hey, you know what, my man's coming right now, and the guy still keeps insisting that he's right there, and you get back from the restroom. And like how would you approach that?
I tell him to walk away. I'd give him an opportunity to walk away. Always. You know,
But-
unless he disrespected or crossed the line.
Now let's say if by disrespect, like if he, as long as he's just trying to talk, right? But if
Yeah.
let's say if you come back and he has he's trying to like
He touched my lady?
like he's like not touch any like private part or anything like that, but he just kind of tapped her on the back. And,
Yeah, it's
and-
on site.
That's not okay.
No.
You know what I mean, right? Just like kind of going like this,
Yeah.
and then you get there at that moment. That's not gonna be a
No.
nice sighting. Yeah.
Nah, bro, because like I wouldn't disrespect somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't diss that, so I'm not gonna take it.
Do you think?
And you know what? More so, like, just to add to that, like, my first priority would be making sure that my lady would feel comfortable or safe. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't be because like I have an ego or like, oh, here, let me prove, you know, that's my bitch. Like, that's not the intent. It's like, hey, you know what? Like, you crossed the line and you disrespected my female. You know what I mean? That's why you have this coming. Because
Even if he didn't know, what if he didn't know and he just went there and just went, hey, and you get there at that moment and he doesn't know, how would you know that?
I mean, that's not the situation you spoke about.
Yeah.
You spoke about him trying to speak to my lady, her trying to dodge a situation, and him putting an arm around, like, it's on site.
Do you think it's important for men to be like overprotective of their family and all that stuff?
Absolutely. I think
do men have to be? Well, talk about why, and then I'll ask you the next thing.
I think that men have to have the ability to protect their women and their children at all times. That's your obligation. That's your due diligence as a man, you know, as a soldier to, you know, to run your household. You know what I mean? And there's no other way. You know, how can you lead if you don't have something to lead with, right? And that's the way I see it.
Nowadays, there's a lot of like weak men,
Yes.
and all sorts of type of weak men. Why do you think so? And how do we fix that?
I think that a lot of these new weak men, they haven't been through a tribulation. I don't think they've been through a hardship. And I think that that's what constructs, either mental toughness or resilience in some sort of way, is going through a challenge, or going through something difficult. And I think that it's too easy. Life is way too fucking easy, bro. And everything's expedited at the drop of a dime. You want to learn something, Google it. You want to teach yourself something, YouTube it. Like, I mean,
most people sit behind the camera, or they're hiding, and they're ordering DoorDash, they order Uber. They'll get on social media.
It's instant gratification.
And they'll cuss you out on social media behind their phone. But then that's different than if they try to cuss you in front of your face.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And they get all the and then I think that's one of the bad things about social media and the phone. It just makes everything easy. Like they even have dating dating apps. Like you get everything on your phone. Everything is so easy now. Like before, like we used to have to go out there and hunt.
Yes.
Now the new people don't.
No. It's so easy, bro. Like there's no challenges and everything's instant gratification. Like I said, that cell phone is a full-blown computer. You could operate anything you want from that thing. You know what I mean? Order it, send it, sell it, ship it, receive it, like anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So back in the day, you want to speak to someone, or like, for example, like an abuelita or something like that, you'd have to go and see her. Now it's like, hey, throw on the FaceTime, save me 3 hours or save me this. You know what I mean? There's no dedication to really... And I'm not saying everybody's like this.
Yeah.
Don't misconstrue that, whoever is listening. But I just think that times are so easy now that that's why men are so fucking weak, And it's the truth.
Do you think men have to be masculine?
Yes.
So like if you see like a scrawny man, like are you thinking inside like this guy needs to like fucking go lift or fucking fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sell him some roids. So, hey, jump on a cycle, bro. Come on. Give him some test and trend just to start it off.
Why do you think men have to be masculine?
Well, masculine is one thing, but being big and tough is another, right?
Well, what's masculine to you?
Masculine is you being able to stand in your own energy, lead, you know what I mean? Go, get it, drive, hunt. You know what I mean? This is our traits of the masculine.
Can you be scrawny and masculine?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so, bro. I think that, your body is one thing, and sometimes it comes down to genetics.
Because some people can't, because some people's genetics, you just can't grow.
Right, I understand that, bro. Like, I mean, I've seen some of the smallest dudes be, very masculine. I've seen some old timers, you know what I mean? Fragile people, and they're still masculine. So the art of being masculine or embodying masculinity, I don't think has anything to do with your actual physique, but I do believe that it helps, amplify your masculinity if you stay jacked or at least in shape and stuff, right?
For you, it's important to stay jacked?
I think so, yes. For me, it is.
Like if you stop lifting and you just stopped eating and or you changed your diet and you stopped lifting and you lost like 50 pounds, you wouldn't be okay with that?
Nah, I wouldn't be happy with that,
Why not?
I like being big. I like being big, and the fact that I am big is that I was able to sustain certain injuries, you know what I mean? Crashes or whatnot. I ride bikes, you know what I mean? And it's the size that has kept me in the game as long as it has.
Have you ever fallen off your bike?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You have a Harley, huh?
Yeah.
How many times have you fallen off?
How many times have I crashed a bike? A couple times.
A lot of times?
Yeah, I think I've crashed. I went down about 4 or 5 times already.
Have you had any serious one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Multiple?
I had like about 2 or 3 serious cases. The other ones were just little bangers. But they were that because, again, my size was able to sustain the injuries.
Were you going fast?
Yeah.
And you fell?
Yeah.
Crashed?
Crashed.
Did somebody run you over or did you crash into something?
I was cut off, and then I hit the back of a car when they slammed their brakes. Dodging one vehicle, the vehicle that cut me off, I dodged him, and this was going towards San Diego. And then on the 15. And then I remember I dodged this dude that cut me off. And then I went around him, and the car in front was being a chismoso, so he hit his brakes just to watch what was happening behind him. And I hit the back of his car, and I flew over him.
You don't feel like getting up and kicking their ass?
Yeah.
When that happens?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you're just the adrenaline in you, you know what I mean? And my first thing
How'd you feel? Like, so what happens when you flew over the car? Like where'd you land, and how does that feel?
That happened so quick, bro. Like I went over the first car and I just tucked and rolled. You know what I mean? I came out in a full sprint and I hit the back of another car. Like I actually just kind of like embraced myself and tackled the back of the next car. It was like a little Kia or something like that, like a little SUV type thing. And I hit the back of it.
You probably dinged the car.
I did. I fucked it up, bro. And I dropped my shoulder. That was one of those accidents. Another one, I was hit. I was swerved and hit into. Another one splitting lanes. There was one accident in particular though that was an intentional hit, and that's actually what really propelled me into doing what I'm doing now. On that one, I was on my bike and I was riding. I got T-boned into a ditch, shot at, and left for dead. And I remember I was under my bike, because I was pinned under my bike. I rolled into the ditch with it. And I remember being on my back, bro, and the bike was on top of me. And I just remember the pool of blood, like, painting the dirt crimson, you know what I mean? And I was pissed, bro. I was like, man, I was trying to keep my eyes open. And as much as I tried to keep my eyes open, like the harder I tried, the faster they were just closing. And then that one took me out and I died. I literally fucking died. And then with that.
What do you mean you died?
Like I died. I fucking literally died. When I was T-boned off my bike and into a ditch and shot at, left for dead. And I did die. And what I mean by that is like, actually, like they were pronounced dead. Like the ambulance came, picked me up. I was in the back of the ambulance and they were working on me and they pronounced me dead. So literally like I fucking died. But on a spiritual note, like when I was out, I just remember dark, you know what I mean? A lot of darkness. I remember, just being greeted by death, like, and smelling like bad shit, like, and it was ugly. And all I could think about was, I gotta go back. I gotta get him. And the darker and worse it would get until like I surrendered to the process in there. And I was like, fuck, bro, like I got scared and I felt fear and I was afraid. I felt fear. And those was one of the first times that I was really like impacted by fear and scared.
So that was the first time you were scared?
And like that, to that point, yeah. And not superficially, but like interiorly, like just fucking afraid. And I thought,
what were you afraid of?
I was afraid of
dying?
No, because at that point I was dead. I was afraid of not coming back and being with my children. I was afraid of who's gonna take care of my kids, who's gonna look after them, who's gonna, So
it was not even about you.
No, and that's what brought me back. That's when I opened my eyes. And I had opened my eyes and the medics were surprised that I opened my eyes, and then right away started plugging me up and putting a bunch of shit on me again. They had broken my sternum, bringing me back to life. I had cracked my ribs, cracked. I broke ribs, and then they punched my lung. So my lung collapsed. I had plates and screws into my wrist. My hands reconstructed. My fucking skull. Like, I mean, I was fucked up, bro. Like, So
you got shot too?
Yeah, they shot at me. They didn't hit me though. They hit my bike. They fucked up my shit, and for whatever reason, like I never got hit. Like I was blessed. So all the injuries were from the bike rolling with in the ditch, like from the T-bone.
How heavy is that bike?
My bike, I think. I mean, fuck, I don't know off the top of my head. I'd say probably about 600 pounds or so.
You had it on top of you?
Yeah, and I was weak from the accident. You know what I mean? And disorientated and fucked up and pinned under my bike. So
when was this? What year?
This was fucking, I would say probably 2018. 2017 maybe. 17, 18, somewhere around there.
So what happened? What happened after that? Like so when this happened, were you making money or no?
Yeah, I was at the head. I was running shit. At that point, I was superintendent, of a crane company, and I was just running shit, building, a lot. So I was already making money. I didn't have any businesses. I didn't own any business, but I was in a corporate world. I was the blue collar industry. I was field superintendent, so I had all my employees under me. And I was just running work.
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
And to stay that size, have you ever taken any steroids or no?
Yeah, I've done some cycles, bro. I cycle still.
You still do it?
Yeah, I still cycle.
What do you take?
I take some tests, and then I like throwing some trend in it. Test and trend, that's really the cycle. That's my go-to cycle. I don't like fucking around with Deca. I think it makes you puffy. Once in a while, I'll throw some Anadrol in it. But typically, I just run a clean test, for... that's not steroids. Those are just the hormone we already carry. Trend would be pretty much the steroid of my choice.
And you're open talking about that?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, bro.
Is it what are the pros and cons?
The pros are that if you're putting in the work, you're gonna get results. You know what I mean? You're gonna harden up, you're gonna cut, you're gonna trim, you're gonna bulk. It just depends what you're using and what cycle.
So if I'm already working out and lifting heavy, and like, so like I can't grow past like a certain weight right now.
Correct.
That doesn't matter how much. Like I've tried everything.
Those are genetics.
So
you're
like,
peaked out.
Huh?
You're already peaked out. You hit your plateau.
Uh-huh.
So no matter how much more you exercise,
because I'm about 170.
Yeah, you're tapped.
And so if I take that and work out the same,
you go back up to 190.
You guys think I should take some of that?
Hell yeah. I get you jacked, bro.
And then if you eat a lot and take it, you'll go
grow
over 200, right?
Yeah, you'll grow.
Do you get more hungry when you take it?
Yeah, you do. Yes and no.
Cause I'll lift heavy, but I just won't grow. And by heavy, I mean like my heavy. Like I'll do like 8 reps, sometimes 7 reps.
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep it at 7 reps the least, because I don't want to max out and only do like 3 reps.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to. I don't want to get hurt right now at this point.
For sure.
So like I'll do like I'll warm up, like I'll do a solid 20 reps, then I'll bring it all the way down to like 8, 7. But I'll dumbbell like 90, 100 pounds on each hand. I'll bench, a couple plates or more on each side. But even then, I just won't grow.
Yeah.
So that I need to do that. So that now what are the cons though? The cons though, because I would do it if there weren't any cons. But I heard your dick shrinks, your balls disappear, you get acne, you get mood swings, you live less, you shorten your lifespan. Is that true or not, or is that something else?
I mean, those are all side effects, and those are to a certain extent. Like, I mean, the main thing is people say, oh, your fucking dick shrinks, your balls disappear. That's if you start slamming just test, then you replace your body's ability to produce it. So at that point, your testosterone is built in your nuts, right? So that's where you carry that shit. So if you're replacing it synthetically, your nuts fucking will dry up. You know what I mean? That's why they say that. But you have to use it responsibly. You have to fucking measure it and make sure that you're dosing properly and that you off cycle. So that way you don't lose your body's natural ability to produce it. And then within that, I mean, and just actually like measuring, doing the blood work and actually getting all your levels checked out, you could legitimately fucking sustain healthy the whole time and without side effects. There's people that get acne and all fucked up and shot up or whatever, is because these fuckers are abusing the shit out of it, right? Like for me, I pin like once a week or something like that, at small doses. Like I'm not out there trying to fucking, I'm cool. Like I'm just maintenancing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but there's different agendas for everybody, or everybody has different hopes, dreams, and wishes. You know what I'm saying? Different goals.
Yeah.
So
Do you also carry a clean diet?
I try to carry a clean diet consistently. I like to eat clean generally 90% of the time. You know, and what I mean by clean is like I don't like eating a lot of grease, you know, like just soggy shit. Like I like clean food, you know, real meat, you know what I mean, vegetables, some rice. Like I try to eat clean.
You do cardio?
Cardio?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't like doing cardio, dog. Like I box for the cardio. That's what I use.
Why don't you like cardio?
Nah, cause I tell people only time I'm doing cardio is when I'm fucking or running to the shitter, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And that's true, dog.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Cardio. Like I don't know. I do 5 minutes of treadmill to warm up or something like that. But I'm not crazy about the fucking cardio, bro.
Yeah.
I box, and that to me is my cardio.
Yeah.
But boxing's fun, so it's a sport, and that is cardio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as like doing not necessarily calisthenics, but like the fuck are they called? Like the when they do the fitness things, CrossFit.
Yeah.
You know, that CrossFit shit or running and doing. I'm not with all that
CrossFit's
shit.
for girls, no?
Yeah, there's a lot of putos in it. Like I stay away from all that shit.
Yeah, they have weirdo workouts.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I keep it old school, bro. Like I try to do like bench, deadlift, squat, and back rows. Like, you know what I mean? Military presses. I do a lot of old school just lifts. That's it.
Do you focus on keeping your body fat percentage low, or you just want, you don't want it too low, but you just want it semi low? You're more focused on the size.
Yeah, I mean, like I know what I'm running. You know, roughly when I'm about 250 to 260. So that's somewhere where I'm comfortable at, and I like to maintain that body weight, that size.
Yeah, because Wes, he's around 260 also.
Yeah,
255, 260.
But his body percentage is way low though. He's probably walking around 11% or something like that.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. What's your body fat percentage?
Fuck, I'm probably like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Probably 18 sometimes.
So would you is it because, do you think it's because he works out harder than you, because he eats differently than you, or because he takes maybe he takes more or different things?
I'll tell you right out the back that Wes is one of my mentors, and he is very committed individual, and he is more committed to his workout program than I am. You know what I mean? And he's
very disciplined.
He's very disciplined, bro. I look up to him. You know, and like I said, he's been one of my mentors in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's been one of my mentors. He was one of my coaches. You know, and I learned a lot from him. I still do. So,
when did you meet Wes Watson, and what did you learn from him like the most?
I met Wes a couple years back, maybe about 2 years ago, and then maybe up to 3 now. And then I started on him like I was one of his clients. You know what I mean? And from his client, I bumped up to like business coaching. And he's the one that told me, he said, you know what, Miklo, your mind's the strongest shit you have. He goes, you need to give that, like fucking. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, you can't do this. You have to do this. And he course corrected the businesses that I was trying to get into or help people with. And he was like, nah. And he fucking taught me right out the gate, this is your stronghold and this is what you do. So monetize that. And I was like, okay. And it started, and this is where I'm at today. So he was a catalyst for my growth, or even starting my own business going online. Prior to Wes, we had 2 businesses, brick and mortar stores, locations. They were retail businesses, you know what I mean? But we lost those due to COVID. And so I had to pivot. And when I pivoted, I went online, and we started doing all our drop shipping and stuff online. But having a store and inventory in it, when we produced the store and we're trying to sell from an actual physical location and take a physical location onto the online e-commerce, it's very different than starting already online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then we have missed sizes. We don't have the printers, or we're storing everything, right? So it became a challenge, and it wasn't a passion that we were into. The passion was actually having the brick and mortar location, you know, and employing people, and we had a vision, you know, to have a place where we could raise our daughters, you know, and give them a work ethic and a safe environment, you know, so they can embody what hard work is.
Now, Miklo, you're part of our Driven Inner Circle, like, which is the big mastermind, the $30,000 mastermind, and there's a bunch of big successful big players in business and stuff like that. So like you're doing really good in business. You're making good money. So now you're teaching people, you're coaching people on what is it exactly that you help people, like people that are watching this. You help them make more money. You teach them a mindset, fitness. What is it that you help people with?
So I help people directly with counseling and therapy. I take people from where they are to where they want to be by reconstructing the narratives that they tell themselves within their head, you know, course correcting their behaviors, things like depression, anxieties, and stuff like that. We work through all of this, you know what I mean? And I use different tools, techniques. I actually studied psychology. I got certified. I'm a certified master life coach. And I use therapies like ACT and CBT therapies, you know, in all of my coaching programs or services. The one-on-ones that I do, I take through a whole rehaul, you know what I mean? Of just an overhaul of where they are and why they're there. And we get down to the grit. You know, a lot of times people are afraid to introspect. You know, there's a lot of times that I meet somebody or they'll come up to me, hey, yo, Miklo, I feel like I haven't found myself. And I share with them, I say, well, it's not, you didn't come here to find yourself. You came here to create yourself. And when we start looking at things with a different perspective or mentality like that, that's where we actually realize how empowering it is. You know, does that make sense? And that's one thing that Wes taught me was like, you know what? Your obligation is to create the best version of you and gift that back to the world, right? And with that said, I tell people that nobody can offer you something that they don't have. You know what I mean? And I have that peace in my heart, and I lead with integrity. So I'm here to help, and I love what I do.
What is your typical client, customer, and have some of your customers do some of them become your friends? And before you get into it, like, is it somebody that's broke? They have just enough money where they want to get started from like rock bottom because they want you to like fix their fucking brain and their mindset and wake up so that then later they can move up and start making more money? Or is it more of people that are like in the middle? Or is it people that have money already, but they just have their brain fucked up, their mind fucked up? Like what is your typical client? And have some of those success stories became your friends?
Yeah, you know what? I have different programs, right? Different programs to help different people. My most economical is the group coaching program. And that's where I've made it, you know, to where people could come and grow and coach with a like-minded community. I exceed value, and that's what I give. I give a lot of value. So whether you're paying $100 or $1,000, right? It's value packed. And I make sure that I show up for all my people. A lot of the people that I've coached along the way have become, you know, friends along the way. And I care about them, their families. And that's the thing that I'm present, you know. So my ideal client is somebody that wants to invest in themselves to really level up. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is that they're going to show up and do the fucking work, that they're not just going to show up, because you get clients that have the money, and maybe they'll spend, you know, 5K, 10K, whatever on a program, but then they're not willing to fucking show up or do the work. Then you got broke ass people that don't have $50 for a fucking program, but will scrounge up the 100 to get started or something like that, and then fucking show up and be there all day, every day, and fucking really committed to doing the work. So to me, what it really boils down to is I'm transformational based. I'm results driven. And for me, the perfect client, or not the perfect client, but the ideal client is the person that's going to show up and put in the work.
Do you help people with limited beliefs?
Yes, I do.
Why do you think people have limited beliefs?
I think people with limiting beliefs have just downloaded that shit from growing up, you know what I mean? Or the way they grew up. A lot of the limiting beliefs are kind of like imagine like we're like a computer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if we have like a virus downloaded, that would be like a type of a limiting belief. And all we need to do is just remove that fucking virus so that way the computer can optimize and run properly. So
That's a good way to put it. So most people they just get a virus.
they just get a virus, bro.
Them.
They think they're fucking broken, and it's like, you're not, bro. The act of fucking curing yourself or actually getting to where you want to be is introspecting and going inside. You know what I mean? A lot of people think, I'm broken, I'm this, I'm that. No, you're not. Fucking stop lying. You know, take off the mask that you're wearing, and whether it's ego or whatever false fucking identity you're wearing, and then go inside. And once you go inside and do the introspection, you'll see that all your puzzle pieces are there. You're not broken. Maybe we just got to put them together, but all your shit's there. You know what I mean? And so it's really accountability. You know, people try to tell themselves lies, you know, and they don't have somebody to hold them accountable to their shit. You know, I do it very cutthroat, very blunt, but I also do it very empathetically. There's a fine balance to where if you're really going through something, like, I'm going to show up and I'm going to make sure that, hey, you know what, you feel presence. You know what I mean? And be there for my clients and be there for my students. You know, I call them students, not clients. And the reason why I refer to them as students is because when one person is teaching, two people are learning, right? And so I'm going to learn from them just as much as they're going to learn from me. So it's a very humble approach to where we hold each other accountable. But obviously, it's my job to guide them from where they are to where they want to be.
You think it's important to remain humble?
I think so, absolutely.
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
Yeah, because you can't be in the line of service, you know, without a level of humility to it. You know what I mean?
Are you humble?
I believe I'm humble.
Because you want to keep learning, right? You want to keep getting better.
Fuck yeah. You have to stay hungry, bro. And that's why I'm joined with you, bro. That's why I'm learning. You know, that's why I keep going. I keep growing. And my game is just to keep investing. You know, I can't, like I said, no one can offer you something that they don't have. So why the fuck would I sit here and tell people to invest in themselves and I'm not going to follow through with my own words? Yeah. Can't do that. So everything that I make, I either put it right back into it or back into investments.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do is like, every time someone signs up with my programs and stuff like that, a certain part of the proceeds, it goes into a nonprofit that I built called No Cumana Escolar. No Cumana Escolar is an orphanage that we're building in Aguascalientes, Mexico. So a lot of times, like when people come and they try to level up, their investment is thus twofold because their level up and their investment in them leveling up is some little kid's beacon of light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a little bit of a better way, a better life. And so those are just acts, you know, to showcase what I'm telling you is true.
And do you coach only men or also women?
The majority of my clients are women-based.
Women?
Yeah. The majority of my clients have been women-based.
So women have a lot of viruses.
They got a bunch of fucking viruses.
Talk about that.
You know what, bro? I've been successful to coach through a lot of women. And the reason why is because most of them have been hurt by a man. So I know it sounds contradicting, but hear me out for a second. A lot of the clients that I work with, you know what I mean, are women, you know, and they've been hurt by a dude. So their mentality is, you know, fuck man or fuck this guy or this or that, right? And when I start working with them, it's nah, fuck that guy, not fuck man, right? And then so I give them an opportunity where I'm masculine. Le bajo los huevos, in other words. You know what I mean? Aquí no sea machita. Right here, fucking ordénate, cabrona, vamos a trabajar. Y así es. That's how we do it. Like, hey, look, you have to stay in your lane. You have to be humble enough to stay in your feminine. I'm masculine enough to sustain this wall, and you just do the fucking healing. You know what I mean? And so when you have a perspective to where you're able to safeguard them and hold that space for them, then you can give them the ability to stop the bullshit, go back into their feminine to where they can actually embody what it is to nurture themselves, and then they can heal themselves. You know, and I sustain that space for them very well to where I've worked with men, you know, a lot of dudes have come, but they're very prideful. As a general, like I'm an alpha male, dude. Like I'm an alpha, much like you are and others. And it's like, when you're gonna fucking try to coach and you're trying to lead somebody or stuff, a lot of the dudes that have come into my program will come, hey, Miklo, can you help me with this and this? Yeah, we start working. They feel like they got a Band-Aid over it and okay, I'm good. And then they leave. The women will actually come in and actually finish the program. You know what I'm saying? Because they want the truth and they want a deep healing. the dudes will come in, get a quick fix, and then leave, and then come back, hey, bro, so I'm still kind of fucked up. Like, can we finish where we stay, dude? You know what I mean? So it's like the commitment. And again, it goes back to the same thing. Yeah. I've worked with children too, though. Like, I work with juveniles, try to course correct them. I've had very young cases, about 9 years old. I've had hard cases, bro, to where I had a 14-year-old rape case. And the biggest challenge for me is trying just to not save them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? You're there to help them and aid them, but not try to like go above and beyond and take them out of that situation. And for me, keeping that under control has taught me what it's like to be there and just help them along their hardships and not actually physically remove them from them.
Yeah.
And that's a fine balance that, it's difficult. It's really difficult, but you have to do what you got to do.
Yeah. How important has mindset been in your life, and how'd you develop that strong mindset? Because like I talk about the pain threshold in business, right? And in life too. They're like a level 6. There's 6 levels. So to get through things like we've been through, like you need a level 6. Most people are level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and depending on how much pain they can tolerate, it's going to show you how far they're going to get. So in order to go through a bunch of hard times in business and life, you got to have that strong mindset, because then people quit, they go cry, they go bitch. How do you develop a strong mindset where nothing can stop you?
I think that it's the amount of times that you eat shit to eat steak that one time. You know what I mean? In other words, you're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to go through the thick of it, without breaking. And each time that you're able to go, if you break it down to a day by day, you know what I mean? Just to not make this so elaborate. On a day by day, if you're fucking stacking your wins and you don't bitch out and you don't break that day, then you've added something into the resilience.
What if it gets too painful?
Then you still have to stake through it. I mean, who's going to bail you out? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. And the quicker that we realize that, then we can hold ourselves accountable. And then that's when men break. Man breaks, not just men, but that's where a human will fucking break and crack, or they'll stick through it. You know what I mean? Some people aren't cut for this, bro. And that's the truth.
Well, most people don't want to go through that pain.
They
right?
don't. And that's why they'll bitch up, they'll roll it up.
They'll stay at home with papa and mama.
Yeah, content. That's not the character that I produce or that I bring to the table at all. You know what I mean? And so whoever I associate with, there has to be a strong, minded individual. Mm-hmm. And that's it. It is what it is.
But how did you develop your mindset? Were you just a badass from birth, or did you ever feel insecure or scared?
I mean, when I was a kid, I felt insecure. A lot of times they call them, they always see me, hey, white boy this, white boy that, and I fucking hated being called a white boy. And everyone thought I was a fucking gringo until I opened my mouth, and they're like, "Oh, this was a beaner." You know what I mean?
You had hair before?
Yeah, I had some hair. And then my heifer used to fucking, when I was a kid, she used to give me like a comb over, like a slick and shit.
Oh, a slick? Oh, you used to come into the side?
Yeah.
And then like one side, like the little side over here, and then like that, right? With the little line in the back?
The little line.
Yeah, that's my haircut when I was a kid.
And then you used to do it up a little bit like a curl.
Yeah, like just flip it up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the haircut I had.
And you were like white and like blue
I was
eyes.
light complected.
Yeah.
Hazel eyes. My familia's from Jalisco, you know what I mean? So
yeah, they're all what else?
Yeah, they're my dad has blue eyes, light skin.
Were you buff when you were a kid?
I was always ripped.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I was skinny, but I was always like just cut.
Yeah.
And then I did the same thing, you know what I mean? Like I was always plateaued. And I think I tapped out at, it was like like a buck, maybe like a buck 80. And then that's it. Like that's where I just stopped, and I wouldn't be able to produce past that. And that's when I fucking introduced the first cycle, when I shot up, and then I just kept breaking it.
Cycles for women also help?
I mean, yeah, it does. Right.
Then they turn masculine?
Yeah.
They'll start talking like a man, huh?
They'll get all deep and chest hairs.
You'll wake up and they'll be like, "Hey, honey." And be like, "What the fuck?
What's up, baby? What's up, baby?"
And then you're like, "Fuck." I sometimes a sweet voice is more sexier than a sexy body with a man voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would advise Sil not to take any.
Yeah. She don't need that.
Yeah. Just do your macros and work out, right? You need healthy. Work out extra.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, Miklo, so if you could give, did you ever get bullied when you were a kid?
No, not really,
No?
bro. I mean, the extent of bullying that I had was just, people talking shit like regular, but that's not really bullying, bro.
When they were calling you güero or gringo, or that was kind of.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just talking shit, right?
So if you could give like some advice for somebody, let's picture. Have you ever seen like a man that's a loser, where you just see him and you're like, fucking loser, like whether. Like you just see them and you're like, this guy has no game. He's insecure. He can't get laid if his life depends on it. He's broke. He gets bitched around by his girl, or he doesn't even have a girl, or you know what I'm talking about, right? Picture the
like a straight bitch,
the biggest loser and straight bitch that you've seen.
Okay.
Like he has no, like, he shouldn't even be alive.
Yeah.
What advice would you give that loser man? To like change his life right now. So let's say picture that loser that his girlfriend pays the lunch and the dinner. He's always broke, and he doesn't even have to be an ugly guy. Maybe he's a guy that's decent but fucking broke as a joke, and is fucking a loser in life. And his girl bitches him around because she pays everything. He's broke. Or whatever the case is, but this guy's there, he has no hope, and you just feel like slapping him every time you see him. What advice would you give that man to change his life right now, to like wake up, dude, like fucking make money, take care of your woman, fucking get a woman, like grow some balls and be a man? Like, what advice would you give? Because there's a lot of men. I'm talking about men right here, but there's a lot of men out there that are just confused. They think being average and being a loser and being a brokey is okay.
It's not.
So like what advice would you give them? Like, bro, man up.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
Like I think the answer is just to fucking slap them really quick. Like a hard palm slap. Not a bitch slap, but a fucking palm slap, like bam.
Open-handed.
Yeah. And see if they wake up like that. But I'm like, dude, fucking wake up, like wake up at fucking 5, at least, or 4 or 6. But some of these people are waking up late. They're in the couch. They want to work from their laptop. They don't want to do the hard work. They don't want to like do all that hard stuff. So like how do we fix these people? Because it's getting worse. And I think maybe you're gonna be the savior.
I'm gonna slap everyone.
Like fucking like women. Like, no, that's why you have women. A lot of women that hire you, because they probably want you to like fucking fix all the other fucking dudes they've had.
You know what, bro? Like, it's an alignment process. You know what I mean? So when I work with anybody that I work with, no matter how beginner or advanced, let's call it, that way we clean it up a little bit, right? No matter how beginner or advanced the situation is, it's an alignment process, and it's mind, body, and soul, right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul is the 3 avenues that I touch on in order to align somebody back to their truth or their purpose.
Can you break those down really quick?
Absolutely. So it comes down to what you're feeling in your mind. You know what I mean? What are you running through your social media? What memes are you looking at? What porn are you watching? What dumb shit are you consuming, listening to, spending your time doing? That's all fuel for your mind. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you're fueling your mind appropriately, and stop the bullshit that doesn't serve you. Like watching porn and shit like that, does nothing. You know what I mean? Watching fucking memes all day, or scrolling through social media, or looking at other people live their best life behind the screen and shit like that, it's not doing nothing for you. So if you have that much time to scroll through it, listen to it, even the shit that you're listening to, you know what I mean? Bitches and this and that and that.
What
like,
about Netflix?
Man, same shit. That's all consumption. So this is all things.
Novelas?
You know, I love novelas. But novelas too, like, I mean, it's all, you know what I mean? Everything is all consumption. So the way you consume it.
Well, women
you wanna
watch
make
a lot
sure,
of novelas.
You want to make sure that you're consuming, you know, like the right podcast, you know, or that you're
Yeah.
listening to the right shit. Like anytime I drove, you know, I used to drive a lot for work, and that was my classroom. You know, I was either always listening to a class, a course, a curriculum, a book, you know what I mean? And if I had a 2-hour drive, guess what? I was in class for 2 hours. You know what I mean? If I wasn't running emails or calls and shit like that, this is what I was doing, you know? So it comes down to what you're filling your mind with. It comes down to what you're filling your body with. You know, a lot of times we know we need to eat the chicken, the rice, you know, the chicken salads, this and that, but then we choose pizza and cheesecake. Well, fuck, you're going to pay the repercussions of it. You know, you're going to get fucking chorro and you're going to be bloated for 3 fucking days, right? So if we keep making the wrong decisions, we're going to keep paying taxes for it. But once you aligned your mind and once you align your body right, your mind and body working in conjunction together aligns your soul right. Because at that point, you're fueling off of itself. You've connected back to it. So you start connecting to source. This is where you start downloading your mind expands. You start getting more consciousness and more clear of what you want to do and shit you can achieve.
Yeah.
You know, it's an alignment process, bro. And everybody needs to hold themselves accountable to go through it.
Yeah.
It's important, bro. I mean, like the mental fortitude that you have, you know what I mean? You listen to books, you listen to the right shit, you put the right fuel in your mind.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time eating the right shit and on your personal physique. You know what I mean? And those two, because you have those two in alignment, that's why you translate and you have your, you know, you're one. So it's an example not too far. This is what we produce and this is what we do. And these are the non-negotiables for us to show up and fucking feed.
Yeah.
So
now if there's a business owner here and they're successful already, let's say they're making millions, but they're fucked up. Like, have you ever dealt with successful business people that make a lot of money?
Yes.
But they're still fucked up? Can you still, do you help those people also?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Well, why are rich people fucked up?
Rich people, you know, I've dealt with certain people that have had deep pockets before, and the people that have had deep pockets, either from an inheritance or something like that, in those cases, you know, they were given something or inherited and shit like that, that even some that have actually worked for it, bro. Because I had some that did that too. I had actual clinical psychiatrists and therapists that were my students, and they're not content. So when they look at a shift in perspective, a change in mindset, you know, that's where they actually level up, bro. It's not, you're not immune to it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are, how deep your pockets are. You're not immune to it.
Because you could have money, make millions, and still be like a piece of shit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, check this out. I started from the fucking bottom, bro. I didn't have no fucking money. You know what I mean? And I'm on my way up to the top, right? And I'm not gonna fucking stop. That's by choice and me continuously doing and putting in the work. So why can't, if I could do it, what the fuck's so special? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could do it, anybody can do it. If you can do it, why can't they? Why can't he? Why can't she? It's just who wants to fucking show up and put in the work. You know what I mean? And that's it. I don't have room to fuck with people that don't want to show up and work. You know what I mean? I don't have the time for that. Like, those people need to get fucked. You know what I mean? Straight up, bro. Because right here, what we need to do is we need to produce results.
Yeah.
Real tangible results.
Yeah.
I'm results driven, transformational based.
Yeah.
And in order, it doesn't matter again how deep your pockets go, you're not immune to not doing the fucking work. If you have the deep pockets, good for you. You're one step ahead because you can afford the coaching.
Yeah.
That's it.
100%. So Miklo, if people want to reach out, they want to hire you, they want to work with you, where can people reach you?
They could reach me on my IG. On my IG at Miklo Coaching is the best way to get a hold of me. I don't have any ManyChat bots or a VA answering shit for me. It's all me. So any response you get from the IG is all organic. It's 100% me. You know what I mean? So hit me up. Let's work.
Thank you, Miklo.
Appreciate you, brother.
Awesome.